get the training, get professional training, because that's the first thing that any agent is going to look at you for, any manager is going to look at you for, any casting director going to look at you for. Like, what's your grounding? What is your training? Did you do a year here, 2 years there, 3 years there? I can't just say, well, you know, I did like a 2-week course over at this place. Well, I'm like, well, you just can't do it like that.
Right.
At Bud's Acting. I went to Bud's Acting School.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's
buy one, get one free.
That's right. That's right.
Brian, let me ask you a question. Now, have you ever been on the set and they brought in the folks that you're going to act with on this particular scene, and they started doing their thing? You're like, what in the hell? You know, this is the worst actor I've ever been around. Have you ever had that happen to you?
You know what? Luckily, no. And let me tell you a good story. I was on a scene at Greenbolt.
Okay.
And I had already met the cast, I had already met the director who was Peter Farrelly. I met him about 4 weeks prior to that, and he auditioned me for like 15, 20 minutes. So I get on set, and I meet one of my scene partners. He's from Florida. He's a good guy, Danny Green. Then all of a sudden, I see Viggo Mortensen. Viggo comes up to me like, "Hi, Brian, I'm Viggo." And the first thing I said is like, "Look, I know who you are." And he was really personable. And then we did a scene about 3 or 4 times. And on Mahershala, he was in the scene also. I worked with him on House of Cards back in the day. And we go through the scene about 3 or 4 times, tape it. And then Mahershala says, well, like, look, okay, can we do it this way? And he said, well, Brian, look, why don't you say something like this in this way, and do it like that. And then it was more of a collaboration when you're in scenes with 3, 4, 5 people, and then we're just throwing off like tips, or say like, look, what will make the scene even better would be if we were to do that, or if I were to look at the money when it was Viggo who was going to offer us the actual bribe. So then we worked it out, and it's just that trying to figure out, okay, which acting techniques, which way to act will be the most realistic. I mean, luckily I've never been on a set with someone who just couldn't act. But then again, someone said that probably I can act. Like, damn, Brian just like it's kind of crazy there.
Brian, dude, what the hell? Yeah.
So let me ask you this: so to the camera, what is he miming? I don't know.
You know, one of the other things I've always wondered, and since we go way back, I'm going to ask you this question. Now, have you ever had those scenes, and you know, have you ever had the romantic scenes that, you know, you have to come home and tell your wife, okay, honey, just want to let you know that, you know, Halle Berry is going to be my wife, and you know, don't throw anything at me.
He had to take a drink on that one.
I couldn't hear your question. What was that? Give the next question. No. It's just that actually, as a cop and playing a cop, I've never had a romantic cop scene. So most of the scenes I've always had is that I'm arresting somebody, I'm about to arrest somebody, I'm about to shoot somebody, but I'm not kissing anybody yet.
Okay.
So
and I understand.
You say yet?
One of these days, who knows?
Yeah, that's got to come. That's got to happen.
It's got to happen, man. That's
police need love too.
Right?
Police need it.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's coming. Just have your chapstick ready and do what you got to do. Oh, yeah. You know, and
got a minute or two.
That's right. And you know, I can relate because I've been typecast as a cop for a long time too, and you know, just from my prior career. So you know, I get it. But I have to say, you play a great cop, and you know,
Thank you.
That's good to see. And when you're preparing for your roles, how long do you normally take, just to kind of, if you're going to play a Martian, if you're going to play a cowboy or whatever, how much time do you just prep, just getting into the mindset, learning whatever it is that you're supposed to do in that particular role?
Well, for the most part, the first thing I do is learn the lines. Once you learn the lines and everything else, you can build around that foundation. I look at lines. I mean, the lines are like the skeleton, and the behavior, your actions, your whole like gravitas or your demeanor is the skin, the muscle, and everything. So you have to prepare. I mean, saying words, they can get anyone just to say the words, but to get someone to make them live, and that's all actors are doing is that we are bringing what is written on paper to life, and you just can't do that just by reading a line or saying a line. You have to be 100% into it. You have to be into that character to the nth degree. So yeah. I mean, there were times when I was doing theater whereby it would take me just 3 weeks just to get past the lines, and then another 3 or 4 weeks in order to build the character. So it really is intensive, and in order to make it a realistic production, you really have to take the time to actually just saying, okay, what am I saying? Why am I saying it? To whom am I saying it? And why do I have to say this?
And how long does it normally take to learn your lines?
Shoot, I've gotten down to, let's say, depending upon, I can do about a page every hour.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
That's
memorization.
Good.
Yeah. And
I really thought they had it in your ear or something like that. I really did.
Oh, no.
Like a monologue somewhere.
No. It's there are some tools that you can use, and the one tool that I use is that when I have a script, what I do is that to the right of everything I say, I write in red pen the first initial of every word, and apparently it's been shown that you can memorize that way faster. So if I have a lot of heavy text, that's really my go-to method. And you really just gotta put the time into it and just develop your character. And then when you don't have to think about what you're saying, then that's when you've mastered it at that point.
Have you ever been on the scene and just the other folks around you just didn't know their lines? I mean, have you had that happen?
You know what? I mean, that's the glory of television and film. You can have so many takes, and regardless of how long it takes, you will get it right. You will get it perfect. And we have a script supervisor who will tell us, no, you missed a word here, you missed a word there. Then they will tell you, okay, like, let's run it from this point. And you will get it down. Because what you lose in what you lose in perfection, you gain in spontaneity and real life. So if you drop a word or two, then at that point just go for it. Whereby in theater, it's just one take.
Sure.
And you have to be on point the whole time.
So how much improv do you all do in some of your movies and things? None? Okay.
Oh, no. See, because what the writer's words are the writer's words, and you have to say those words. So there aren't that many scenes whereby you're able to ad lib to it, because if you start ad libbing, then it detracts from the silence.
Sure.
It detracts from the overall aesthetic of that particular scene. Because I mean,
Gotcha.
I've been in scenes whereby all of us actors only said maybe three words, but it's the feeling and how we interact. That's the most important thing.
So versus theater. So if you're on stage doing a play, how different is that?
Well, theater, it's similar in that the playwright wants to have his words spoken, and there's only one take or whatever. So you really have to know those lines. You have to really know those lines while you're saying it. You have to know what the relation is to the other characters. So that's really the main difference between theater and television. And then also in theater, you have to be heard. So you have to you have to project. And whereby in television and film, you have to be overheard instead of heard.
Wow, it's too much. If I can't improvise, I can't do it. Because I'll be messing up. I'll be like, oh Lord. I can see it definitely though in theater and playwrights, because they choose their words specifically. I mean everybody does, but it's certainly it's like a rhythm. It is in play and theater, and so if you miss something, you'll throw. If you do something, you throw everybody's stuff off.
Right, and it's just
right.
like
I've been in plays where they've forgotten their lines, and someone comes and have to fill in. Say their lines to bring them back. To get them back on track.
Exactly.
So yeah,
and it really it's just like this playwright called David Mamet. He's a very, very popular. He's a very famous playwright. He will add pauses, and as an actor, you have to say those because there's a particular rhythm to that. There's a particular cadence to why he's saying or let me go figure this out or whatever. I mean, and you have to say it specifically, or else it wouldn't make sense. And there's like a rhythm to it, and it's just like. The main difference between doing comedy as opposed to doing just straight up drama, whereby in comedy, if you don't say the line right, then it's not funny. And if you miss a the or an a or whatever, it doesn't have the same impact. It doesn't have the same import. It doesn't have the same comedic value. Whereby in a dramatic series. Whereby you may miss a word or two, but you still get the general gist of it.
Wow. That's just, I mean, it's so doing theater, TV, I mean, theater is obviously different, but TV and movies, I mean, is it similar, the process? I mean,
it is.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. The main thing is that with television, you go through an episode every 7 to 10 days. So it's a very short and condensed time period. You go through a script every 7 to 10 days, and you get another script every 7 to 10 days. So you really everything is more condensed. You have a very short timeline in order to get a scene in and booked and printed, and it's just you have a heightened sense of trying to get things done quickly. And when I was on As the World Turns back in the day, you would have
you see saying ooh
right, I used to watch that.
Oh yeah. And I played a cop on that. So it's just.
I was going to say that. Now, yes, you're supposed to get some kissing.
No. Actually, I played a Philly cop. I played a Philly cop in that one.
Oh man! So, how did you even get to stay at the parties that you stayed in back home in Baltimore? Everybody probably thought you were a narc. I mean, you just had that look.
I'm telling you,
that's it.
That's what it is. I just step out of the corner, just
you didn't
keep
dance
looking
much.
around.
Did you just stand on the wall at the parties? You did that?
Exactly. If I stood in the back of the wall, I like may have done like 1-2 step or two. Had the rhythm, then I got back in character. So
that's a blessing, though. I mean, you can knock it, but shoot, hey, there's nothing better than having a job is to be a cop and you don't have to worry about getting shot at. That's good. You can